Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ. Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, and not wait till it's Monday on the Tuesday show with Ted and CJ.
Here we are.
Here we are. Here we are, born to be kings.
Yes.
We're the princes of the universe.
Wow. Yeah. So, yeah, we're here. We're delusional. It's time to crack on with the show. Quick note. It's time to crack on with the CJ and Ted show.
Yeah, the CJ and Ted show. Hashtag soft rebrand.
Hashtag, yeah, we realised it's not on a Tuesday.
We always knew it wasn't on a Tuesday, but
yeah.
But no, I just don't think it was really helping us.
No, probably not, no. And
it wasn't helping me.
And where it says just here, the Tuesday show podcast, just ignore that.
Yeah,
we'll
ignore.
change. We'll sort that out at some point. But the thing is, what you do know is if you do actually watch the show, and nobody does, but if you do, if you are one of the very few, which also includes us,
no, we don't watch our own content.
then you will you'll know it's us anyway. So yeah, perfect. So it's the CJ and Ted show.
Welcome to the CJ and Ted show. He's Ted, and I'm CJ. In case you didn't guess,
we thought we'd make that important distinction and make that change. I guess after. What are we talking now? 6 years, 7 years?
7 years? Yeah, 7 years.
Yeah, it was 2018, so 7 years.
Yeah.
Yeah, after 7 years, time for a little tweak.
That was a long time ago.
That's what she said.
Yeah. That was a long time ago, right?
It was. It
Yeah,
was.
7 years was a long time ago.
Yeah, it was, yeah.
I was 7 years younger then.
Mm.
Can you believe it?
Yeah.
Can you? I don't believe it.
Who would have thought? Do you know what? I was 7 years younger as well. Which I think has more impact for me because I'm getting to the sort of older side. Now I'm in my very late 30s. It's starting to hit.
So if you tipped over middle age.
Yeah, just about. Just tipped over. Yeah.
Good.
And I have a rare condition. Not that one. I have a rare condition where my hairs are grey way in advance of my years.
I was going to say, you remind me of my friend that when he was in his early 20s, he was going grey, and you're exactly the same, early 20s going grey. So
I was thinking about. I was thinking, should I dye my hair, get rid of the grey? What difference would that make?
I think you should try it just once, at least once.
Yeah, I might give it a shot.
Yeah, I might do it one day. I won't do what there was a guy I used to work with, and he wanted to get rid of the greys, but rather than going for like his natural colour, he just went jet black, and he looked so weird. And it's just you kind of look at him, and you're like, what?
Yeah.
At least you're double taking. Like, what the hell have you done?
Yeah.
He was like, I want to get rid of the grey. I was like, okay, brown, not black. You are a mousy brown kind of guy, not a black hair kind of guy.
Yeah. Yes, indeed. And I tell you what, talking of dyeing hair, I noticed recently because I've taken to, like, anybody who watches the show will know that every now and again I'll be drinking something, just so you know, it is Lucozade. It's not Tizer or anything like that.
That's a classic. Tizer
or cider or anything, or Iron Brew. That's a similar colour, isn't it?
Yeah, Iron Brew. Yeah. Nothing wrong with Iron Brew.
No.
I'm not drinking Iron Brew, obviously.
No, you're not. No.
Yeah, not sponsored.
But I noticed actually that when I do drink Lucozade, it slightly dyes my moustache area. But it kind of comes out a bit pink. So it looks like, I don't know, it looks like I've been a bit slapdash with my lipstick or something.
Well, I was going to say, what does Mrs. Ted think about that?
Well, I don't know. Well, this is the thing. This is making me look a bit like Mrs. Ted at the weekends, you know? So, yeah, so I'm going to give that a bit of a swerve. So from now on, if I ever have Lucozade, I'll only drink it with a straw.
I was just about to say, drink with a straw. That's easier, right?
Yeah, it is, yeah. Although it's just a little bit unseemly on camera, though, isn't it? Because then you're picking it up and and then you're like, trying to catch it.
If you say so.
Yeah, I do say so.
Okay.
Anyway, that was a not very interesting thing about Lucozade. What's your drink of choice? Obviously, Monster at the moment.
Well, at the moment, because I don't have any sneak energy, and I'm walking to the shop to spend a £5 on monsters for the podcast here on a Friday night. Mainly because I've just fallen out of the habit of getting the sneak energy, which is it's all sugar free and supposed to be quite good for you, but I don't think caffeine in that quantity is ever going to be good for anybody.
Yeah.
But I do like it though. I like the flavours they come out with. Oh, that's what it was. It just became a complete faff of trying to. So I put it on subscription. I put my 2 favourite flavours on subscription.
I have no idea what you're talking about, by the way, and maybe the listeners don't either. So, can you explain what?
So I'll just sit here and shut up then. You know, whatever.
No. We want more detail. Yeah, we want to know what you're prattling on about. What you're talking about.
It's an energy drink that comes in a powder form, and you mix it with water, or some of them you mix with milk, and you get an energy drink out of it.
Oh, right, like Screech.
What?
Screech. You know the orange powder you used to get in ration packs.
Oh, I didn't know that was called Screech.
Well, that's what they called it, because when you drink it, you go. Oh.
I used to love that stuff. It was great. I mean, it was like super powerful. You could make one sachet go over like 3 drinks because it was that strong.
It was. But I tell you what was good, the hot chocolate. Yeah, that was good.
I think some people went through a phase of like mixing the hot chocolate powder with the rice pudding. To make like a chocolate rice pudding, obviously. Apparently that was really good. No, but anyway, so it's a energy drink powder. Yes, a bit like the orange Screech stuff you just mentioned. And you make drinks out of it. But because I used to get it on subscription, but it was because it's cheaper that way. But it was a faff. If they didn't have the flavours that I wanted, they wouldn't go, oh, do you want to choose another flavour? They just cancel it, gone. That's it, done. And you're like, so what about, what am I going to get this time then? It got to a point I was just done with it. I was over it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now at the minute, I'm back onto Monster Energy, which is less caffeine, but arguably just as bad for you. No, I always go for the sugar-free stuff anyway, because, diabetes.
Do they still make Pro Plus?
Probably.
That had a very short sort of life as being popular, didn't it?
It really did, yeah.
And people used to take a load of Pro Plus when they were sort of what's the word? Cramming for exams and things.
My eldest brother used Pro Plus a lot because he was like, "Oh, I drink too much coffee, so I'm going to do Pro Plus instead." I was like, "What?" It's like
the issue with the coffee is the caffeine.
I couldn't believe it. I was like, "Okay." He was like, "Here, try one." I was like, "I'm okay." I think I've only ever had one Pro Plus, and I was like, "It tastes like a vitamin tablet when you were a kid." The old Super Ted vitamins used to taste like that. But okay, it picked me up for about 20 minutes, and then I just came crashing back down again. That was the effect of Pro Plus for me. So it was not really something I was into. Or if I did ever buy a pack, I was afraid I'd just eat them like sweets and give myself a heart attack. Oh yeah, never. I don't know if that's still a thing now. Anyone in the chat, let us know. Get in the comments, let us know. Is Pro Plus still a thing?
Who knows?
Who knows?
We'll never know because nobody will get in the chat.
Don't be so negative, Ted. Come on, positivity. PMA, positive mental attitude. We've soft rebranded. We're no longer the Tuesday show, apart from, like you say, the thing up there that says the Tuesday show. Just ignore that. You know, we're good vibe, good positive vibes. Positive vibes.
Let's have some PMT. Right. Yeah. So, what should we kick off with? Have you got anything interesting to tell us, or vaguely interesting?
I mean, I've always got something vaguely interesting. Well, it's vaguely interesting to me, but I feel that most people in the world don't want to hear what I have to say.
Yeah. Well, but what's the subreddit you tend to look at? Is it mildly interesting?
Yeah, I haven't actually looked at that for a little while. I spent a bit of time looking through Petty Revenge this evening, actually, before we came online. There wasn't anything really interesting in there. Nail signs from my yard. So they're just sale signs in that case. But yeah, I have a corner lot with a big yard and a high traffic street where people love to put their yard sale signs without asking. Usually it's my husband who rips them out and tosses them in the trash. However, I'm almost always the one who has to hit... Oh, excuse me, sorry. That's too much energy drinks. However, I'm almost always the one who has to hear it from people because they spent money on the signs. They usually come up and knock on my door asking where the sign is or why we took it out. I know the law is on my side, but the common argument I hear from people is everyone else allows it, or I plan to take it down at the end of the weekend. This starts in May and doesn't end until August. If I let everyone do it, then I would have neon yard signs in my yard for half the year. Am I the arsehole?
I don't understand. In what this woman has signs.
Let me translate this into English for you. So people have like a garage sale or a yard sale, so they'll just put everything out on their front garden for people to come and buy. To advertise this, they will go around and put signs in other people's gardens saying there is a sale going on at the weekend.
Got you, right.
Without asking permission of the property owner to put the sign there. So this property owner then goes and takes the sign out of their garden and throws it in the bin. And then the neighbours come along and ask why it got taken down and use the arguments such as, oh, but everyone else allows it, why not you? Or I plan to take it down after the weekend.
Right.
So she's now asking, is she the arsehole? Or sorry, this person is asking if they are the arsehole for taking the signs down and throwing them in the bin.
Well, I'm going to say no because, do you know what? I wouldn't throw them in the bin necessarily. I might take it down and then put it to one side, but in the road, not in the road, not so it gets run over. But do you know what I mean? And then when that person, no doubt, goes past the sign, they'll go, oh, they pulled it out. I'll go and put it somewhere else.
No, see, this is America, right? And they have HOAs, housing something. Homeowners Association. That's it. Thank you. Yeah, homeowners associations. Who, if you leave a sign out on the street, they'll come and fine you for it.
Right.
So rather than doing that, they just throw it straight in the trash. What I would do with this, because I don't believe this person's an arsehole either. It's like, don't just put a sign in my garden without asking. If you ask me, I'm likely to say yes.
Yeah.
But if you just put it there, what I'm probably going to do is take it out, take it down to your house, and stake it on the edge of your garden as well. And everybody that ever does it, I'm just going to go and put it in your garden. Whether you want me to or not, because you just put it there whether I wanted you to or not. It's like, there's such a... I don't know what it is about property, but it's like, don't mess with my shit. That's my garden. You don't just put a fucking sign in the garden without asking me first. Yeah.
Or adapt it so that there's an arrow going the other way.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. No, I think probably not the arsehole then.
I don't think they're the arsehole.
No. But if it was me, I would probably pull it out and set it aside, and hopefully, yes, indeed, and hopefully, then they would get the message.
Yeah,
they should get the message if I pull it out, especially if it's in the middle of the street.
that's definitely sending a message. That is definitely sending a message. Oh, I agree. And when they come and complain, I'll be like, just ask me.
Yep.
All you have to do. Don't assume, just ask. But yeah, I'll just go throw it on their garden. That's what I do. There you go. That's yours. Thanks. Like it's like when people put leaflets under your windscreen wiper on your car. It's like, fucking touch my car.
No, don't do that. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm annoyed.
Yeah, exactly.
Now I'm annoyed. Yeah, that's irritating.
It's like at my house when I have deliveries, whether it's Amazon or the postman is actually probably the only one that does this every time. Like he always bolts the gate when he leaves. But when I have deliveries or leaflet droppers or anything, they have to literally lean over to unbolt the gate, open it, it closes on its own. They come to my front door, post whatever they're posting through the letterbox, then walk back out, open the gate, and then just let it slam behind them. They don't close it, and then they don't bolt it afterwards. It winds me up so much. I even put a sign on there saying, please close and bolt the gate, and they still ignore it. And it's a petty rage thing for me. It's just like, it's so simple. You unbolted it, bolt it back up. It's like what your parents will say is like, well, you picked this up, just go put it back. You used it, go put it away. It's like, oh, God. It really enrages me. Like, if I was the Incredible Hulk, I'd be green all the time.
Yeah.
It enrages me. Just like, it's such a simple thing to do. Just fucking bolt the gate. The number of times I wait by the front door now to listen to if they bolt the gate, and when they don't, I stick my head out and shout at them. And I literally go, oi, bolt the fucking gate.
Yeah.
And some of them look at me like, what? I'm like, you unbolted the gate, bolt it back up. And they all get a bit shitty with me, but I'm like, give a shit. It's common courtesy. Respect my property.
It's funny how you're a little bit younger than me, and yet you're the grumpy old bastard.
Oh, I'm a grumpy old bastard.
Yeah. I'm sort of less so. I'm like that sort of thing was just sort of wash over me.
I say I'm chill about so many other things. I couldn't give a shit. Things that are completely out of my control, I just don't care. But the gate is locked or bolted. Therefore it can't just, because the other thing is when it gets windy, the gate starts flapping around, and it's actually one of the things on the gate has come off. The wooden plank things have come off. But it's like I know I can't control what other people do, but it's like it's so simple though. I've turned into my stepdad. That's what it is. I've turned into my stepdad. It's like, you opened it, you close it. Were you born in a barn? Do you just walk in the gate at your house and just leave it wide open for everyone to walk through? I bet you don't. It's just it's a small thing that means so much. And like I said, I caught the postman this morning because I had a couple of deliveries today. And I was just like, when he knocked on the door, because he had a parcel for me. And I was like, would you mind just bolting the gate on your way out? And he's like, oh, yeah, you always do. I was like, yeah, the last two people didn't bother. And it just wound me up. And he just went, I gotcha. And he's a lovely guy. I love my postman. He's wicked. Anyway, so yeah, I went off on a rant.
Yeah, you did rather.
Rant mode engaged.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll tell you what, should we have a nice short one?
Giggity. She said. said no one ever.
Yeah. There's relationship problems.
All right.
I think having a short one. Anyway, so need some advice. Me, 20F, female, and my boyfriend, we live together and we've been together for a year. How do I get him to listen to anything? It's not even just even what? It's not even just this even. If I try to speak to him about something, he will find a way to turn it onto me about something that I've done before. Anytime there's an argument, it's caused because he brings up things which I've done wrong in the past, which he sees as relevant, but I don't, as it's not the problem at hand. I don't know how to get the point across to him either. Anything. Well, that was badly written.
I didn't follow any of that.
That was incredibly badly written. I expect her to oh well, you know, I mean, I've got an issue with my boyfriend, and now you're saying that I've written it badly. You're just turning it on me.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's exactly what we've done.
Yes, that's right. That's right. But two things can be true at once.
That is true.
Yeah, maybe you've got an issue with your boyfriend, and maybe you write like shit.
Maybe you write like a 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Was it me 20F? Hang on, so I'm just bringing my microphone a bit closer. Me 20F and my boyfriend 23M. We live together and have been together for a year. How do I get him to listen to anything? It's not even just this. Even if I think there's just some missing grammar there.
I definitely.
Yeah, even if I ever try to speak to him about something, he will find a way to turn it on to me about something I've done before.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm guessing you didn't finish school. Because, yeah, was so badly written.
Yeah.
Anytime there's an argument that is caused because he brings up things which I have done wrong in the past, which he sees as relevant, but I don't, and it's not the problem at hand. I don't know how to get the point across to him either. Anything. Oh, it hurts my brain, Ted. It hurts my brain.
Crazy. Yeah. Well, first of all, I know it's not am I the arsehole, but you are the arsehole for writing it like that.
So you're an arsehole.
Read your work. Read your work before you post it.
You know what? It's right. It's 2025.
Mm-hmm.
Get Copilot or get ChatGPT to write it for you.
Yeah.
And it will do a fucking better job than that.
Yeah. So anyway, this other employment 652, which is a very odd username.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway, she needs some advice. Well, here's my advice. And this is advice of me, not as from the show as a whole. My advice is STFU.
Yeah.
You are
Stoofu.
this is I know what this is. This is a classic case of she likes to complain about shit, but also at the same time will take no accountability for anything she does herself.
Nope.
And so every time she's moaning about something, and she can give it, but she can't take it.
Mm-hmm.
And then something crops up, and oh no, it's not about that. It's not about all the shit I did.
Maybe she's a bit mad about the role reversal, because isn't it the old trope or the old cliche that women will bring things up from 5 years ago in an argument that's completely irrelevant to the argument at hand?
Yep.
That's the cliche, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
But maybe he's doing it now, and she's annoyed that he's taken that role, and she's like, well, what am I supposed to do? I know, I'll write about it on Reddit badly.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe she wrote that in anger and, just wasn't thinking about what...
write it in English, that's for sure. Silly bins. Yeah, so anyway, my advice to you is, stop moaning and pull yourself together.
Yeah, STFU.
Yeah. And maybe listen to him. Maybe his extra 3 years on the earth mean that he's a little wiser. Possibly not, though. So that was what.
Yeah.
I can't talk now. Reading that nonsense has broken me.
Good.
So yeah, I guess in the chat and let us know what you think of that nonsense.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, I've got. I tell you what, I'll let you go first. Off you go.
Oh, okay. Is this what is it? Just quick fire running through Reddit today?
Yeah,
is that what we're doing?
Yeah,
sure.
let's do that.
This is going to be a short show. I'm going to tell you that. Anyway, wife took money after the car was crashed. This is another Am I the Arsehole? So about 6 years ago, I bought my wife a 2006 Pontiac GTO, the nice cars. So I'm not going to lie, for $14,500 with cash. Because it is considered a collectible vehicle and a second vehicle for her, she insured it through Haggerty, I guess that's an insurance company, for $20,000. So,
Yeah.
$5,500 more than they paid for it. She was in an accident a few months ago, and Haggerty paid the full $20,000 to her. When I asked her where the money was, she told me she took the money and put it into a separate savings account because it's my money. I pointed out that I bought the car for her and thought the money should be in our savings account, not a separate account that she set up for herself. She called me an arsehole. Am I the arsehole?
No.
Yes. You gifted that car to her. Sorry, dude, you lost that money. Unless you registered that car in your name and said, here, this is for you to drive, but it's actually still my property. I own this.
Mm-hmm.
That's a gift.
Okay, all right. So this is where we got a difference between, okay, the letter of the law and if you like common decency. I mean, what's their relationship again? How old are they?
Wife, 6 years ago. Doesn't say anything about ages. Because I respect this person for not needing to put in their 30M 21F.
It is useful, though, because you kind of get an idea of what the people are like. But anyway, they're a married couple. They have a joint savings, because that was mentioned. Yeah, it should probably be in there. I mean, the thing is, it should be probably there to buy a replacement for the car. It shouldn't be, okay, now I've got some extra savings for myself. I'm not. That just doesn't sit right.
No. Like you say, letter of the law, if he's the legal owner of the vehicle, that money should be his.
Mm-hmm.
If he bought it and registered it in her name, that's then a gift to her, and that money is hers. But as you say, common decency would say, well, let's put it in the joint account. Or if she really wants to keep money for herself, just be like 50-50. There you go. There's 10 grand. I've got 10 grand. Go nuts. Go have fun.
Yeah. How much did you buy it for?
14.5.
Well. Yeah.
But I agree with you that it should, and with him, it should have gone into the savings account. But I mean, I guess without knowing the exact circumstances surrounding the vehicle, I'm leaning towards not the arsehole, because that could be absolutely 100% her vehicle that he gifted to her.
Well, yeah, but I would say not the arsehole if she then goes out and buys another car. And if she buys a car for 20 grand, then, take the win. Everybody's happy.
Yeah. Maybe try and buy another 2006 Pontiac GTO for 14.5 grand. You bagged yourself 5.5. All for just crashing it.
Yeah. And then the two of them use the money, go away on a holiday.
Take a nice vacation.
That's the way it should be.
In the Pontiac GTO.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Without crashing it. How did the crash occur?
Doesn't say.
Oh.
Doesn't say. Just said she was in an accident a few months ago and they paid out the full 20K. I mean, maybe there is a motive behind this where she crashed the vehicle just to get the insurance money, and she's banked it herself, thinking, "I'm going to leave anyway, so I might as well leave the
going away money."
That's it. I might as well leave the 20K in my pocket.
Yeah.
But then again, if they're going to get divorced, obviously, unless there's a prenuptial agreement there's a whole thing about 50-50 on the assets and finances and all that stuff. So she'd lose half of that anyway. So I don't know. Who knows what the motive actually was for all of that?
Yeah, I'm leaning towards arsehole.
Yeah, maybe.
But that's the weekend. So my girlfriend, 29. No, hang on. My 29 Oh, right. Okay. So this is a bloke, right?
I'll say, right. Let me just go here. Let's start again. Are you ready for your next one, Ted?
I'm ready for the next one.
Okay.
Yeah. Now this is written by a chap called Zealous Ideal _test 354. That's a snappy name if I've ever heard one.
Strong.
Yeah. Strong name. He's 29. His girlfriend is 26. He says, "My girlfriend wants to say goodbye to her ex."
Okay, bye.
Dun, dun, dun. So, advice wanted, it says. My girlfriend of 10 months wants to say goodbye to her ex. We've been dating for 10 months, lived together, and have a child on the way. He dated her for 2 years and was a piece of shit. Not abusive by any means, but not the best partner. She broke it off with him and became friends with him for several years after that. Upon meeting me, she told me it was serious and focused on us. She called him several days after my birthday on his birthday to wish him well. That ended in him yelling at her, and she didn't tell me this until she told me she wanted to say goodbye. I shut down the idea twice, and the third time I told her I'm setting the boundary that she cannot contact him. Now that she is pregnant, she wants to tell him that and say goodbye, because he is entering the Secret Service and may die in the Secret Service.
Pretty sure he's not supposed to say that, but okay.
Yeah, I know. After setting, and that was on Reddit. Right, okay. So after setting the boundary, she told me she would respect the boundary, but it's not okay. But he's not okay with it. Am I in the wrong here? What do I do if she contacts him anyway? I feel like there is a emotional connection here, especially in telling a past partner that she's pregnant with our child. What do I do here? Any advice? Right. Too long, didn't read. My girlfriend wants to tell her ex that she's pregnant with our child, and this is her last goodbye.
Lead with that next time. Is he the arsehole? Oh no, sorry. This is advice.
This is a problem. He needs advice.
Let it go. She'll do what she'll do. My honest opinion on that is she will do whatever she'll do. I think it was silly to set that boundary anyway.
Really?
Yeah, if you under, I'd be questioning, why do you need to tell him you're pregnant? Why not just call him up and say, hey, you said you're going into the Secret Service. Good move, by the way. So this will probably be the last time we speak. So
yeah.
Okay, thanks, bye. No need to mention the pregnancy thing. So no, I agree with him about setting the boundary. You don't need to tell him you're pregnant. And what is that? Is that some kind of opening soda bottle, or is that some kind of power play? Oh, I'm pregnant now. Ha ha, lol. I can't see the reasoning behind it, or the why it's relevant.
Yeah.
So yeah, you know what? Yeah, just okay. No, I've changed my mind. I agree with him. Yeah, you should have set that boundary and just said, no, I don't want you to do that. That's stupid.
Yeah.
But I'd have framed it like, no, that's stupid. Why? Why do you even want to do that? Oh, because he's joining the Secret Service. Okay, so what's that got to do with you being pregnant? Oh, but I thought it'd be nice. No, don't. You don't need to tell him that.
Yeah.
Unless it's his. Is it his? Because if it's his, there's another question that we need to answer. And that is, why are you still here?
There's a lot to unpack, right?
Yeah.
On the very face of it, I'm calling bullshit on him going into the Secret Service.
Yeah.
Because if he really was, he wouldn't be saying so.
He wouldn't have said anything, yeah.
If this is in the States, Secret Service is basically a police force that is actually not that secret. It's just called that for some reason.
But
yeah.
But you don't know who. It's like the CIA. You people that work in the CIA never say they work in the CIA.
Mm-hmm.
There's always a cover story.
Yeah, but they don't disappear. They don't suddenly disappear off the face of the earth and never know or contact their families or friends or anything like that. That's not how it works.
Exactly.
So I think she's feeding him a line, or the ex is feeding her a line. And do you know what? On the face of it, this tells me one thing. She's still in love with her ex.
Mm-hmm.
And she wants this whole say goodbye, closure thing. I mean, it won't end there.
No.
It definitely won't end there.
Nope.
And I do think that a paternity test is now a necessary.
It's now warranted,
thing.
Yeah.
It is warranted. I call bullshit on it. Yes, have a boundary.
Mm-hmm.
And if she crosses that boundary, then take steps. Take steps.
I mean, it's not like you're married. Just walk away.
Mm.
You've been together for 10 months. Walk away.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, there's a complication of her expecting.
Well, yeah,
But again, it depends what she's expecting.
a child.
Is it the? Does it belong to the eggs?
Well, yeah, there is that, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, it's only been 10 months. If she's been working some sort of overlap, that is, it's definitely conceivable, for want of a better way of putting it.
Yeah. I mean, there's an argument that asking for a paternity test is one surefire way to tank your relationship, but I think even then, if you've got that doubt in your mind, you gotta scratch the itch, or else it'll always be there.
Well, yeah, absolutely, and the one surefire way of tanking the relationship is by fucking your ex, getting pregnant by your ex, and wanting to say goodbye to them.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I think that's entirely reasonable. Reasonable boundary.
Yeah. I've flipped on it. That's reasonable enough.
Yeah. There we go. Zealous ideal _test 354. That's what you need to do.
Yep.
But don't listen to us.
Just say you want a paternity test.
Yeah.
I don't know. Is that? I mean, having never been in that situation, is that a thing? Would that kill a relationship if you just went, well, I think you were cheating on me, so now I want a paternity test?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. It feels like the kind of thing I would say if I had any doubt over that. That would be.
I mean, I think the problem is there are far too many cases.
Mm.
Also, there's this other guy, and there is still a hangover with this other guy. The fact that they're even discussing her saying goodbye, and it's like, what does that involve? Because it doesn't involve a text saying bye.
That's it. Just send him a text message. Okay, see ya. Thanks. Okay, thanks. Bye.
She wants to say goodbye in person.
Mm.
This is what it is.
In his
and it's
bedroom.
not going to be goodbye in person with her current boyfriend in tow, is it?
No.
Yeah. So she wants to sit down with him in person and say that she's pregnant, and she wants him to somehow act upon that.
Yeah, I was going to say
that's how I.
Yeah. What's the end game?
Mm.
What's the end game?
Mm.
Okay, you've been friends for years. Okay, so yeah, she broke it off with him and became friends with him for several years after that. Upon meeting me, she told him it was serious and focused on us.
Mm-hmm.
He called him several days after my birthday on his birthday to wish him well.
Mm.
That ended in him yelling at her, and she didn't tell me this until she told me she wanted to say goodbye.
Mm.
I mean, I'd love to know what the yelling was about.
Mm.
And yeah, would love to have been a fly on the wall there for that. Anyway, I shut down the idea twice, and the third time I told her I'm setting a boundary and that she cannot contact him. Now that she is pregnant, she wants to tell him that and say goodbye. I mean, is it... Okay, so is it... She is thinking this guy yelled at her after she called him to say happy birthday. I mean, that's a fucking red flag right there. Now in her head, she's going, well, I just need to cut my ties with him and say, maybe he is the one that is, still trying to be in a relationship with her. And she's like, no, I'm with this guy now. And that's it. Go away. Leave me alone. Maybe the him yelling at her was her calling him, even though she told him to leave her alone. And he's like, no, why the fuck are you even calling me?
Well, it could be either way, but on a balance of probabilities, they dated for 2 years. They've been fuck buddies ever since.
Mm.
There's been an overlap. There may or may not be an issue with the kid. And she's just dicking about.
Yeah, maybe.
And she's either got to the point where now she's pregnant. She's, like, okay, now this is serious. I'm going to have to really ditch this guy now.
Yeah.
Or she, I don't know. Who knows?
Who knows?
What I do know is there's nothing good about this.
No.
No good will come from any of this.
No.
Yeah.
Just run, dude. Just run.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. So that was that one. What do you think? Get in the chat. Tell us.
Get in the chat and let us know, or both of you. I know the one. No, there is two.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. Well, let's jump straight into my
us?
next one. Shush, man. Shush. Let's jump straight into the next one. The nosy in-laws. My in-laws live next door, and they come over to let the dogs outside while my wife and I are at work. We have camera around the house, and it was odd to me how many camera notifications I was getting throughout the day. Our cameras are not great and don't really cover much of our house, so I really don't know a whole lot of what they're doing here so much. Earlier,
Got another one.
Yeah. Well, I can say, first of all, if you've put cameras up in your house, surely you're putting them in places that gives you the best coverage.
Yeah.
And if you have blind spots, you're then putting cameras up in to cover those blind spots. But anyway, whatever. Earlier this week, I left a note inside of a closed envelope that read, "Enough rummaging through our things that have nothing to do with you. You are no longer welcome in here when nobody is home." Our camera didn't show them opening and reading the note, but I'm 100% sure they read it because they've not been here for several days in a row, which is a first. I haven't spoken to my wife about this because if they just kept coming over like nothing had happened, I would have thrown the envelope and note away and not pursued the matter any further. I will bring this up with my wife today, but I'm wondering if I could/should have approached this differently, maybe left off the second line and written a less harsh first line. This isn't Am I the Arsehole, by the way, although he hasn't directly asked if he's the arsehole. So, so the in-laws come over to let the dogs out. Woof, 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 woof. And, I mean, we got the answer to that question. It was the in-laws. They've got cameras in the house which don't provide particularly good coverage. He left a note in the closet that he thinks they read.
Yeah.
But isn't sure that they read, and now they haven't come over for a few days. So who let the dogs out? Woof, 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 woof. In those few days since the in-laws came round last. Have the dogs just been shitting on the carpet? Because, I don't know. Or maybe they have done that, but all they've done is just open the door to literally let the dogs out and then put them back in the house and close the door. Yeah. And there's not a camera on the front door to confirm that.
Well,
it's a weird one, this one.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not too concerned about the dogs, but yeah, living next door to the in-laws is not. I mean, you knew what you were signing up to there.
I find that's kind of a rural American thing that you live either next door or very close to your in-laws. Or the parents of your partner, or your parents, or or whatever. That's what in-laws is, parents of your partner. Certainly in the experience, people I've spoken to, and the experiences that I've had with those, I understand that that's not an uncommon thing. There's a creator that I follow on YouTube. They bought a property which is literally the plot of land next door to his girlfriend's parents. It's like, okay, fine. Maybe it's him. maybe this is it. No, but it's like, I mean, if it was me, if I suspected people were rummaging in my house, I would move the cameras so they were more strategically placed, so I could see exactly what they were doing. Yeah. It's one thing to have cameras there just for security to say, oh, a burglar broke in, here's a picture of them, and then what are they actually rummaging through? Again, if you've got a camera that covers your front door, you'll probably see them walk out with your television. But yeah, I probably would have moved the cameras first of all to get a bit more strategic placement. What I probably would have done if it was me, actually, I'd have put one of the cameras in the closet to catch them as they open the doors. Yeah. But again, depending on the cameras, if it's like, so I've got Ring cameras at home, yeah, they've all got speakers on them. I can talk to the people who are triggered with my cameras and be like, knob off if I want to. Or say, no, I'm not home, just drop the parcel around the back, thanks.
Well, I think probably the best thing to do in this situation is not leave a snotty note.
No.
The best idea is presumably from time to time they all get together and have a meal together. Right, that's the sort of thing that you might do if you live right next door to your in-laws. So over the dinner table, what you do is you dream up some friend, right? So you make up a friend who you lent a key to a while ago for some specific purpose. And you tell the story, which you have to rehearse many times over, so it almost becomes true in your own head. You tell the story about how he came round and he did this and he took a massive dump in the ensuite and he did this. And the thing was, he didn't realise that there were cameras. And I'm like, dude, why did you do this?
Yeah.
The house is full of cameras. So anyway, so we don't talk to Derek anymore.
Yeah, we took his key away from him. He doesn't come around anymore.
Yeah. Anyway, could you pass the potatoes? And then you've done enough. You've done enough then.
Yeah.
Because hopefully they would kind of get the hint and think, oh, A, there's cameras all over the house. B, this guy doesn't like people roaming around his house other than specified times. Job done.
It's like, I'm quite glad I work from home. It generally means that I don't need to have cameras inside my house. And I don't own a pet, so I don't have a dog walker that comes around. But if I owned a pet and I didn't work at home, I would have, well, if either of those two criteria were true, I would probably have cameras in the house. Especially for things like home inspections, because I rent. My house gets inspected every so often. Not that I don't trust them, but I don't trust them.
Yeah.
I would strategically just one or two, and if they have a question, just be like, it's literally for home security. If someone ever broke in, I want to see what they're doing. It would be like, one would be in this room because there's expensive equipment in here. There'd be one up in the loft where my photo studio is. There'd be one in my office where there's more electronics. One in the living room. The only place I probably wouldn't have them is the bathrooms and my bedroom. Because that's weird. But yeah, that'd be my justification for it, and especially like if I had pets and a dog, and I paid for a dog walker to come around, I'd want to make sure they're not rummaging through my stuff. And as soon as I did, I'd be like, key, give me the key, thank you.
Yeah.
See ya. I will travel home at lunchtime to walk the dog myself. I don't care how far it is. No, like I said, unfortunately, I don't need to do that. But I probably would. Especially, in today's day and age, you may live in what you think is a really nice area, but you just don't know. You just never know.
You never know what you're going to find.
No. Like I said, I've got cameras on the outside of my house. Because again, it's, I've got one that looks over the front yard to where my car is. So if something happens to my car overnight, it gets caught on film. There's one in the garden in case someone decides they want to jump the fence for whatever the reason, it will catch them. Or if someone wants to, try and get into my shed overnight, the camera will catch them. I've got a doorbell camera, so there's always that. And then I've got one that looks down like the side of my house as well, because it's quite a long alleyway. But yeah. But I'm not going to tell you where I live. You can't come and disable my cameras for me. However, my login information for ring.com is...
I lived in a place once, so I rented. It was kind of a shared house, but the landlord, for some reason, wanted was complaining about the heating being on. Like, first of all, dude, people put the heating on sometimes.
Yeah, it's cold. That's what heating's for.
Yeah. So, and every now and again they come around to do some bits and pieces. And the setup was that I basically rented a room, but there were only two of us, so we effectively had the whole house. But so they could come and go because of the way that it was. And when they come around, they switch the heating off. And I come back and go, oh, it's cold. I'll
Yeah.
switch the heating on. And then the cupboard, which the heating control or the button for it, the cupboard then had a padlock on it. And they put a padlock on it, so you couldn't open it. So I couldn't open the cupboard and turn the thing on. But it had like oh, it's weird. It was like a metal grill in front of it with lots of little holes in it. And I thought, well, you know, they're picking on the wrong guy here, right? Because
you're getting your pencil out and you're like poking through the holes, aren't you?
Yeah. So I got some what do you call it? Wire coat hangers.
Yeah.
And I fashioned a device. Now, bear in mind, this is like a standard boiler. So at the bottom, you got like a little plastic strip that you pull down. And then underneath that, you got all the controls.
Yeah.
And there's an on-off. So, there was this door thing with the tiny little holes and then a padlock. And then beyond that, then you've got the boiler. Then you've got the flap, which is up.
Mm-hmm.
So I had to I made two things. One that was good for flicking the thing. The problem is it was a very small hole that I had to work with anyway.
She said.
Yeah. And then of course it was dark. So I had to work out a way of strapping a torch to another part where the holes were to shed enough light.
Yeah.
And then feed it through, open the flap, turn it on, and then bring the flap up again and put the flap back in place.
Yeah.
Now, this is great because it really confused them. Because obviously the heating was then back on again. They knew it was because they have a monitor thing.
Yeah, they'll have a smart meter, won't they?
Yeah,
so they can see it all. Yeah.
Yeah. And yet, even though they put it behind a padlock door, the heating mysteriously was switched on again. That happened a couple of times, so they turned it off again, and then I turned it back on again, and then they turned it off. And then one time, I got to it. I start off with a torch, and I'm looking in. I noticed this was really weird because they did have a ring, not like a ring door. I think it may have been a ring, but like when they first started, really.
Yeah.
At the front door, which then wasn't at the front door. I looked inside, and the bloody ring doorbell was in the cupboard.
Absolutely catching you in the act. I love it.
And I think what they thought what would happen is they would see the door swing open, and me red-handed with some sort of device to break into a padlock, ready to turn the heating on. But of course that didn't happen. I spotted that and thought, wow, what are these people about?
You thought, wow, I'm going to move out.
Yeah, that's exactly what I did.
What kind of psychopath does that? It's like, yeah, I mean, I'm going to assume this was in a cold period of the year where, you know, it's useful to have the heating on so you don't die of hypothermia. What kind of psychopath stops you from doing that? Now, and here's the thing, right, because I've known a few people who have lived in shared accommodation, and I've heard so many stories similar to that, not specifically about heating, but, you know, where the landlord is basically a complete dick. And it's done two things. It's made me realise that I never, ever want to live in shared accommodation. Like, I'd rather die. I'd rather go live with my parents again than go to a shared house.
Yeah.
But it also makes me realise that the landlords of shared accommodation are literally there for money. The only reason they have that property is to make money. You know, they don't want you to have the heating on, especially when it's because I assume it's all bills paid kind of, or for the most part, it's an all bills included kind of scenario with shared accommodation. You just pay your extortion per week and they cover everything. So they're going, well, I'm just going to go turn the heating off so I'm not spending money, so I can just make as much money as I possibly can, without really thinking about the health and safety aspect of it. Of it's the winter and you need heat.
Yep.
You know.
Well,
surely there was a thermostat on the outside of the boiler, right? And surely you would just come to them
it's
just
switched off.
Just
It's off. It's
yeah,
off.
but even if you came in and the heating was on and there was nobody home, you'd just be like, okay, I'll turn the thermostat down so the heating's not chugging away all day, but not so low that the place gets cold. But then I'll maybe pop a note on and just say, please turn the thermostat down if you're the last one to leave the house.
Yeah.
Save energy, save money, etc.
Yeah, I think you're relying on the fact that, people being reasonable, but this guy was not reasonable.
That's what I mean. Landlords of shared accommodation are not reasonable.
Yeah.
They're not reasonable people.
It was a funny old thing because that's where everything really broke down. So for a start, I thought, well, I just don't want to stay here anymore. And then at the same time, he was trying to get rid of my housemate. And I don't know why he's trying to get rid of her. Well, she was a lesbian, and I think she may have had other lesbians around, whatever you call them,
Partners.
Yeah, whatever. And,
lovers.
Yeah. And or possibly just friends. But the thing is, I think they just didn't like that. Now, the landlord was Asian, and the funny thing is the landlord was Asian and his wife was Polish, I think.
Okay.
And we ended up having a conversation where there was myself, my housemate, and the pair of them were there as well. And it got a bit heated.
No, it didn't, because he kept turning the heating off.
Well, that's very true. That's a good point. But no, the conversation was getting a little bit heated. And I said, well, why are you getting rid of her? And I just said, because I'm just like pushing buttons because I'm having an argument, how it is.
Yeah.
I said, oh, this is just because you're clearly just homophobic. And the guy said, and remember, he's Asian, his wife's Polish. He said, how could I be homophobic? I'm married to an Eastern European woman. And I'm just like, I had to walk out of the room then.
Yeah.
Just to go and lean on a wall in the corridor and laugh my socks off. The idea that you can't be homophobic because he's in an interracial marriage. I'm like, what's that got to do with it?
He may as well have said, I'm not a racist. I love black people. I think every family should have one. That's what he might as well have said.
Well, no, yeah, it would be the same as saying, I'm not a racist. Because all of my best friends are lesbians or something. It made no sense. It was like that.
I can't be a homophobe because I like women too.
Yeah.
I must be a lesbian.
Yeah, so that was a classic moment, and then you're dealing with the people who are just absolutely deranged.
Yeah.
So that didn't last much longer after that.
No,
that was fun.
Yeah, I just know there's no way I ever want to live in a shared house or in shared accommodation. I couldn't. Apart from the fact that I have difficulty living with other people anyway.
Yeah.
Things like the gate that I was, the bolt in the gate, small things like that would drive me up the wall all the time. You leave a dirty dish in the sink, I'm just going to flip my lid. It's like, especially if you have there's a fucking dishwasher, or just wash the motherfucking thing and put it on the side. Don't just leave your shit everywhere. It would drive me bananas living with other people. But yeah. Anyway.
Yeah.
How do we get onto that?
I don't know how we got onto that. Somebody, I don't know, whatever you were reading out. Should we have something different?
Well, actually, I've got one more thing to say about your house sharing heating escapades.
Yes.
As you were describing, fashioning this tool to, and poking it through the hole and all that. Throughout all of that entire story, I had the theme from the A-Team in my head. Just picturing you playing the A-Team music while you're getting this coat hanger and untwisting it and fashioning in it, and then putting the torch against the hole and
Yeah. I had something quite similar once. It was a drunken evening in a officer's mess somewhere in Yorkshire, and the bar was shut at this point, and everybody was a bit worse for wear, but the bar was shut. And the bar area had like little shutters that come down. You know, there's some sort of plastic link things that, yeah. And the bloody music was still on, right? But the control for the music was behind the bar.
Yeah, it's on the other side of the gate.
Yeah. And of course, like any good group of slightly drunk officers, like, brilliant, it's an initiative test. So then it was a case of fashioning with, you know, as many long things as you could find, strapping them together and creating this great. And it put me in mind. I don't know if you watched all of Friends, but the time that they put a load of chopsticks together or something to try and poke the naked man who lives in the building opposite.
I remember.
Yeah, so it was like that. Just to turn the volume off. It worked.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice. Genius.
So there we go. There we go. Anything can be done if it's vaguely in the defense of the realm.
Yeah. Anything can be done with the 18 music playing in the background.
That's the thing. I mean, there we are. We got Starmer saying, "Oh, you know, we should make sure that we do everything to be on a war fighting footing." All right, dude. We can get the bloody stereo off. From feet away. Don't worry about that.
We can turn off the stereo from literal feet away. Don't you worry about Ukraine.
Oh dear. So anyway, there we go. Yes, what have I got? I tell you what I'm going to do. Now we got some technical problems.
Well, I was going to say, can I test the jingle? I don't think there's any sound, but I'll test it anyway.
We'll live test with the audience.
Right, hang on, here we go. Cat of the week.
Cat of the week. Meow meow.
It didn't work for me earlier, so.
Oh right, okay.
I thought it wouldn't work.
Right. It did work, and it is indeed Cat of the Week. And I thought we'd have a bit of a throwback. This is going to be our Cat of the Week for this week. I don't know if you remember that. It's the internet cat.
Yeah.
There is a backstory.
He's the original lolcat, isn't he?
The original. Well, this is the beginning of cats on the internet, really. This guy. And now sadly departed.
Oh,
yeah, but then they don't last forever, do they? And the internet's quite old now, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
yeah. But also, I think this cat was actually, I don't know. I tell you what, you can have a little task whilst I prattle on. You can Google the details of this one, because I think this was actually something that was captured on an old camera. So this was like an old bit of VHS stuff that eventually found itself on the internet once the internet was invented. So yeah, this is quite an old cat.
Keyboard Cat is his name. Keyboard Cat is a video-based internet meme. Its origin was from a video made in 1984 by Charlie Schmidt of his cat Fatso seemingly playing a musical keyboard, though manipulated by Schmidt off camera, to a cheery tune. While Schmidt had uploaded the video of himself to YouTube in 2007, let me click the link, Brad O'Farrell, with Schmidt's permission, appended the video to the end of a blooper video uploaded in 2009, as if to have the cat play the person off stage after the gaff as they had done. That means nothing to me. Excuse me, sorry. Although Fatso had died in 1987, Schmidt has since adopted 2 other cats and have become new keyboard cats, providing video footage to be used for the same meme. Bento until his death in 2018, and the current keyboard cat called Skinny. There you go.
So there we go. It's the Cat of the Week, and it was also a little bit of a history lesson as well.
Yeah. So I'm pretty, like you say, I'm pretty sure Keyboard Cat Fatso is like the original lolcat, the original internet meme cat.
So there we go. Yeah. Good old Fatso.
Yeah.
Now this has been reposted. Is a GIF of the thing, but it's been reposted with a comment saying there's a con for cats called PerCon, presumably in the States. That's where they have most of the cons. Anyway, what's a specific con you'd like to attend?
I mean, I feel like I need to go to PerCon now.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it really. I want to go to a cat convention.
I want to go to there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Maybe we should do that, and we should do the show from PerCon.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, I say we'll get some cameras set up, and we'll get cats on film.
Yeah. Hey, I think there's a cat show thing coming up soon at the NEC.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
Okay. Hang on, let me Google that. Got to Google that now. NEC cat show. Don't mind my really loud keyboard.
Yeah.
The Cat Show live.
So you're not going to turn up and it's next week or last week or a video recording on the outside of the building. It's live.
Yeah, the Cat Show live is bringing the world of cats to life on the 13th of September 2025. Yeah, let's do it. Get tickets.
Yeah.
God.
Wow, that could be a Cat of the Week special. That could.
Well, it'll cost me 35 quid to get in. It'll cost you 31 because you're an old guy. I'm kidding. It's £35 for adults.
Oh, okay.
Or children under 5 are free. £27 for 5 to 16-year-olds, or family of 4 is £97. 2 adults and 2 children under 16.
How much is it for cats?
It doesn't say.
Doesn't say. So maybe you can take your cats for free.
Maybe cats get in for free. It doesn't specify that. Can you imagine if they charge more for the cats?
I know. Like, we can't do that. This is my emotional support cat.
Yeah. VIP tickets for one includes fast pass entry, VIP lounge area, fast pass entry from 9:30 a.m, VIP swag bag, 15-minute 1-to-1 with a cat of your choice, 1 times event brochure, and more.
I feel a strong need to go VIP for this.
Minute 1-to-1 with a cat of your. Oh my god! I mean, if you ever want to bag yourself a crazy cat lady, that is the place to go.
How much is VIP? Just out of interest.
Have a guess. Have a guess how much one VIP ticket is.
£116.
Close. It's 100 quid.
Really?
Yeah. Or VIP
That's less than I
tickets.
thought it would be.
VIP tickets for 2.
Yeah.
£200. I don't even know why they even bother advertising that.
How much for 3?
£400. Oh my god! And
wow.
you can buy it. The Cat Show Live Show Guide 2025. You can buy the guide for £15. I've never understood that. Who's paying this much money for a piece of printed paper?
Yeah.
That you're probably going to just throw in the bin at some point in the near future anyway. But, I'll keep that as a memento, and then you'll look at it 10 years later and be like, I don't know why I kept that.
Yeah.
Gone.
Well, I think we should go, and also I think we should have T-shirts printed with our Cat of the Week jingle thing as on the T-shirt.
Yeah, the Cat Show Live is bringing the world of. Can I get that onto the whole screen? No. The Cat Show Live is bringing the world of cats to life on the 13th of September 2025 at the NEC Birmingham.
Yeah.
Click here to read our clarification statement. What's a clarification statement, please? Anyone? That is incredible. Oh, that's made my day.
Right, here's a plan.
Thank you
We
for
go
this.
there, we have T-shirts with Cat of the Week on the front, and on the back there's a QR code. And if you zoom, the instructions say, submit your cat for Cat of the Week, and then there'll be a QR code. And I bet people will We'll
Say,
scan it.
It will just go to our website, and then people can upload photos of their cats, and we can just go through them on the show.
Yeah.
But there could also be a link on there to say, once you've uploaded the photo, click this link to subscribe to CJ and Ted Show.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we'll get people to watch it. Oh, that's a genius.
Yeah.
You're a genius, Ted. Love it. I love that.
Mm.
Oh,
Fantastic.
Want to feature on Cat of the Week? Scan this QR code.
Yeah.
I heard of someone doing something similar, like not so much for Cat of the Week, but the QR code thing. And it made me think I wanted to do a bit of a social experiment around it, and that is just to print out a QR code that goes to, like, you know, a free WordPress site or something that just says, thanks for scanning this QR code. You know, just so you know, you probably just shouldn't scan random QR codes because you never know where they're going to take you. You know, this could have been a scam website and that kind of thing. Maybe just to spread a bit of education around, but also just to see how many people actually do it.
Yeah. Well, they have that problem with the parking meters, don't they?
People will just tape over a new QR code and it'll take them to a completely different website.
Most of them now say, we don't use QR codes, so don't scan any that you see on this. But I suppose, you know, if you were a criminal, you just put your sticker over the top of where it says that.
Well, yeah.
Problem solved.
We do use QR codes. Scan it. Thing is, though,
adamant that you use a QR code by order of the council.
The thing is, it's because you say that, and it's like QR codes are such a great invention. I mean, they were there. They were invented. I was watching a video about this the other day. They were invented for stock control in China, Japan. The guy that invented it did it so they could readily like do better stock control using these QR codes. And then obviously it's kind of taken off, and everything's now a QR code. And you're like, this is great because it literally is I can't remember what it stands for. Is it quick response? Or something like that. That's what it stands for. But they're a really good invention because you can just hold your camera up. It literally gives you the website. You tap on it and you're there. No typing in anything. So it's really, really good like that. But then, of course, criminals or cyber criminals will then abuse it. And it's the same with anything. I tell you, mate, this world is scary because of the amount of cybercrime. You think of anything that can make someone's life better, someone is thinking of the opposite, opposite use case. I'm going to make your life worse just because I can. But anyway, moving on. That was Cat of the Week.
It was.
Cat of the Week. Meow meow.
Meow meow.
Meow meow. Have you got any more? I've actually run out. I didn't actually have that.
You've run out. Okay.
I didn't actually have that much. We sped through all of those so quickly. I was like, I'm out. I'm all out of stuff.
Okay. Well, let's have some more. Let's have some more relationship advice.
All right, here we go.
We could do with a QR code for that as well. So same thing.
Yeah, we really could.
And it goes to a form, and you fill out what your problem is. What's your bloody problem?
What's your problem?
What's your problem? We'll think about this. Anyway, this problem is relates to this is a girl called Phantasmic Remy 2018, who is female and 27, who has a boyfriend who's 28. The problem is boyfriend messaging other girls.
Oh my God.
Dun, dun. That's never happened before.
Wait, I need that as a thing. Hang on. Hold on.
What?
Wait. Just wait.
Okay.
just wait.
I'm just trying to fill in some dead air. That's all.
That's fine. You do that.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Come on. I've got to have it. Here we go.
It's coming soon.
Here we go.
Oh dear, this is a. Have you got a new chair?
Yes.
Right. We'll talk about that later.
Okay. It's only been 3 weeks.
I know. Well, it takes a while for these things to filter through.
I know.
Yeah. Talking of taking a while for things to filter through, have you got that sound yet?
I just did it.
Did you? Oh,
Yeah,
I didn't get it.
Oh, you
I
didn't hear it?
it.
Okay, hang on. I can fix that too. Hold
Okay.
on. Just talk amongst yourselves.
Okay.
I can fix this stuff.
At least we had Cat of the Week.
Yeah,
we thought we'd lost that one.
We really did. Right, here we go.
Yeah.
Let me play it again for you. Hopefully you heard that.
Yes.
Good.
Right. Yes, me and boyfriend have been together for 3.5 years.
Impressive.
Yeah, that's not how you write anything, is it?
No.
Me and boyfriend have been together for 3.5 years.
Me and Boyf have been together 3.5 years. Rup.
Yeah.
In it, blood.
In it though.
Isn't it? Isn't it though?
Isn't it? No cap. After getting a gut feeling this weekend, I checked his phone. Now that's where the problem starts.
Red flag.
Red flag. I checked his phone and found his archived chats. There were 2 separate messages between him and 2 of his friends, in inverted commas for some reason, which were extremely flirty conversations. And also, these are friends, in inverted commas yet again, he insists he's not very close to at all. We had this issue in the early stages of our relationship, where he didn't perceive his flirting with his female friends as flirting, but more banter. After almost breaking up over it, he stopped. But here we are 2.5 years later, and he's doing it again. 2.5. I have not confronted him yet, as I'm unsure what I want to do as we go away on Saturday for 2 weeks together for an American road trip. At this point, there's no way of getting out of not going or not going together. No.
All right.
She's taking this very seriously.
Yeah.
She was contemplating not going. I'm debating if I bring it up before we go, and there'll be tension the whole trip over it, or if I wait until we're back and just have this as one last trip while I make up my mind what I want and should do. Would bringing it up before, during, or after be the best thing to do? There is another option, of course. Don't bring it up at all. Don't look at his phone. Don't look at flirty messages and decide that that's a major issue. Because I tell you what, if they were really bad, if it was a massive red flag and likely to end the relationship, there would be some sort of photographic material involved.
Maybe.
It wouldn't be just flirty. It would be more explicit.
Depends on how they're messaging, I suppose.
Yeah, but if she's saying flirty, I mean, flirty, people can be flirty.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, there's actually no harm in being a little flirty. It depends how much you trust them. And what they do if they act upon said flirtation. You know, all right. There are some people at work who, yeah, if you're on the outside looking in, you might go, all right, she's being a bit flirty with him.
Yeah.
I know it means nothing, mainly because that particular person is gay, and it doesn't actually. So I know there's nothing there, and I don't see her that way anyway. She is a work colleague. I'm not a fan of shitting where I eat. So, but even then, you just like
turn of phrase.
I know, right? But if you're on the outside looking in, I could see how people would take it that way. The only reason that I know, and it's in my head, is because people have mentioned it. They're like, "Oh, you two are a bit friendly on, like a whole call through, with all the whole team on, and we're just having a laugh and a joke, and we don't care."
Yeah.
I'm just like, we're just friends. We're having a laugh. Get over it. Are you jealous? Are you jealous that we can have fun while we're working, and you're bored as shit and pissed off? Because guess what? That's stopping me from being pissed off all the time. So by having that relationship with that person, as in, friendship, not a relationship, but, anyway, you know what I mean. But yeah, it's I don't know. The fact is, you clearly don't, we're back to this, you don't trust him anyway, or else you wouldn't have gone through his phone.
Yes.
That to me has always been a clear signal of how you truly feel about that person or the relationship, is if you feel the need to go through their phone. I mean, if you're sat there watching a movie and they're constantly on their phone and they're giggling away and, oh, you're naughty, then okay. But even then, you'd just be like, what the fuck are you doing? Oh, I'm just chatting with this girl that I know. All right, hang on a minute. Come on, we're sat here enjoying a dinner and a movie, and you're talking with another girl. Come on, dude, help me out here. Help me understand what's going on there. But yeah, if you feel the need to pick up their phone and go through it, there's a problem. Yeah, I've never ever felt the need to pick up another person's phone and go through it. Never.
Even when it's been warranted.
Even when it's been warranted. But that's true. You say that as a joke, but that's been true. Even when it's been actually, I'd have been perfectly justified in the action, I think. I've just never felt the need to do it. And it's, not because I trusted them, it's because I'm just like, well, no, you just don't do that.
Well, also, what are you going to find? It's never going to work out well.
Oh, it's never going to end well. What are you expecting to find?
Well, exactly, but it's also the same as just eavesdropping on a conversation.
Yeah,
because if it could be about you, and you might not like what you hear. It's not necessarily a terrible thing. It's not going to be the worst thing. It's not necessarily going to ruin your relationship.
Right.
But it'll be enough for you to go, oh, I don't like that.
Exactly.
And this is what this is. It's I don't really like that. But if she'd come across something really bad, then, it would be done and dusted. There wouldn't be any bloody trip. There wouldn't be no road trip.
Nope.
It would be that bad. So I think she should say nothing at all. Because all she's going to do is tell him that she's been through his phone.
Well, yeah, all it's going to do is spark an argument.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how you try and dress that. The argument is going to be, why were you going through my phone? Yeah, I don't see that ending well for anybody. But again, it's that you've been through his phone, so you've clearly got a trust issue, so you should probably just end it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just end it while you still can.
Or possibly not. Or just get a grip of yourself.
Yeah.
That's possibly the answer. They've been together for 3.5 years. I mean, if after 3.5 years, she's managed to go into his archived chats, which, to be fair, doesn't mean they're old. It just means they're in a different folder.
Yep.
But she's gone into there, and the worst she's found is some flirty messages. I think she should wind her neck in a little bit. Let's have a look and see what the comments say. Somebody says, maybe wait until the end of the trip. Wrong. In all honesty.
Wrong.
This is a quick fire responses to what people have said.
Okay.
In all honesty, it's something you need to discuss with him immediately. Also wrong. First reason being is those chats are archived, so he's clearly displaying sneaky behavior, or he's just separating it from others. Maybe it is a bit sneaky, maybe, but also if he's shut up. So this is Trills the T or something like that.
Trilly Trills T's.
Yeah, and I think Trilly Trills T's probably has some sneaky shit in her archive, so that's why she's thinking that way. I would advise to pull him up and ask him why he's entertaining other women instead of entertaining you. If it's happened before and it's happening now, there's something underlying. There needs to be seen to. Don't wait until it's too late. When's too late? Anyway, that was the only comment. So basically, she's getting the whole backup. You go, girl. Bullshit. So that's that. My advice would be: don't do it. Don't mention it. Go and have your trip, and you know, make the best of it, and yeah, get you know, get a sense of proportion.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Should we have another one from me because you've got nothing?
Yeah, I got nothing. Let me. There you go. You can change over your screen, and yeah, so I've run out. I'm frantically trying to scroll to find something half decent. I'm coming up short. I really am.
That's what I've heard. Here's yeah. So anyway, again, this I've not read this yet.
Mm-hmm.
I've not read it, but I'm going to prejudge it because
Good.
if there's anything that usually works, is prejudice. And I'm prejudging it on the title.
The title alone.
What
Good.
are some non-obvious signs of disrespect in a relationship? Non-obvious signs. So, what are things that exist only in my head that I can turn into a fucking issue that aren't actually an issue?
I was gonna say, it feels. How do you describe a non-obvious sign of disrespect?
I want to look for microaggressions. Because without it, my life is meaningless unless I'm complaining or moaning about some shit.
Mm-hmm.
Advice wanted. I've been in relationships before where the disrespect wasn't always obvious. Maybe it didn't exist.
Maybe.
Like when someone felt off, but they brushed it off with a laugh. When something felt off, but they brushed it off with a laugh and said, "You're being dramatic," or "I'm just playing." Yeah, this is a dramatic person that's writing this.
Yeah.
One example for me, I was in a relationship where my partner danced sexually with another woman at a party, but told me I was overreacting and it was just part of learning a Haitian dance. She's Dominican, by the way. It didn't sit right with me, but she framed it as cultural, like I was the one being insecure. Now, listen, before we even talk about Haitian dancing, which I'm not an expert on, what I do know is most of ballroom dancing and slow dancing and all that sort of thing, you've got your hands around people, you got your hands clenched together and, you know, all that sort of thing, and swing around. That's what dancing is.
Yep.
You know, so no, I don't buy that at all. Another time, she sent over 24 photos and videos to one of what? Another time, she sent over 24 photos and videos to one of her male best friends. Which way round is this? Now I'm really confused. When they brushed it off, hang on. Where my partner? Oh God, they're not being obvious enough about it. She sent over 24 videos to one of her male best friends. Weird. Some of them were pretty provocative. Lips poked out, seductive angles. When I brought it up, she said he asked for them and they were just friends. But I remember thinking, why would you ever feel comfortable sending those in the first place? Right. I'm getting confused now. Some people are a woman who's writing this.
I'm thinking this is a woman.
Yeah.
I've been in relationships before where the disrespect wasn't always obvious, like when something felt off, but they brushed it off with a laugh and said, "You're being dramatic," or "I'm just playing." One example for me, I was in a relationship where my partner danced sexually with another woman. So that says it sounds like a woman talking about a man.
Yeah.
But told me I was overreacting and that it was just part of learning a Haitian dance. She's Dominican, by the way. So I wonder if the partner is Dominican or the woman her partner was dancing with is Dominican. It didn't sit right with me, but she framed it as cultural, like I was the one being insecure.
Yes. So she's a she and she's a she.
Yeah.
They're both she's.
So yeah, this is sheception.
Right.
Another time, she sent over 24 photos and videos to one of her male best friends. So we're talking about the partner now, who sent the photos and videos to one of her male best friends.
Right.
Some of them were pretty provocative, lips poked out, seductive angles. When I brought it up, she said he asked for them and they were just friends. But I remember thinking, why would you ever feel comfortable sending those in the first place?
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
I think we're back on track now.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think we're in a same-sex relationship here.
Yeah, the name is Delilah Vocals as well, so it sort of gives away that the poster, the original poster, is a woman.
Yep.
Okay, all right, we're with it. Okay, it's the Scissor Sisters. Let's move on. So, it's the kind of stuff that isn't always bad enough to end a relationship over, but still makes you feel uneasy. I ignored a lot of these feelings, and now I'm trying to learn from it. So I'm genuinely curious. What are some subtle, non-obvious signs of disrespect you experienced in a relationship? The kinds of things that made you feel small, uncomfortable, or confused, but were easy for your partner or justify or explain away. Would love to hear your stories. Just trying to build awareness, so don't repeat old patterns.
I just take a look in the mirror after a shower every morning and feel small.
What?
Moving on.
Yeah. Okay. So, right. Okay. In terms of advice, there's nothing there that sounds particularly out of order. And this whole business of sending photographs, sending selfies, or whatever it was, to some male friend.
He could be gay too.
But could be. But even so, lips out, angles, and all this sort of business. It's like that's every Instagram post ever.
Right.
Yeah. So, no, just don't worry about it. That's my advice.
Again, if you're bothered by it, just talk to them.
Yeah.
Most problems in a relationship can be solved through simple communication.
Yeah.
Just talk to them about it. Just be like, hey, look, right, you've done this. You said it was, that you're just friends, and he asked for them. It's like, but I don't understand why you've done it. It's made me feel uncomfortable. Help me out. Why? How are you comfortable doing this? Because I'm uncomfortable.
Yeah.
And get them to explain it.
Yeah.
If they go, don't worry about it. I'm just, we're just goofing around. I'd be like, I'm just gonna pull on this rope and run up the red flag if that's all right. Don't mind me.
Should we see what people say? Nothing.
Sure.
Nobody
Good.
cares. There we go.
Hold on, everybody.
Yeah.
Sorry, I can't clap. That's a microaggression.
But yeah, don't look for problems that aren't there. It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
And also, I have to say, this post now rather justifies all the me brackets M/26 close brackets.
Yeah.
Blah 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 blah. It kind of helps. I can see that now.
I was thinking that. I was like, this would have been. It's the perfect post for someone to put in 21F, 22F, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, that would have helped us out just because of how it's been framed or how it's been written out.
Yeah.
Would have helped us out immensely. But
Yeah.
Anyway,
Delilah, best of luck, but just don't look for problems where they don't exist.
agreed.
Excellent.
Agreed.
Let's move swiftly on. Well, not that swiftly, actually. Give me a moment.
Do. Tell us, people in the chat, what do you think of today's episode of the CJ and Ted show, not the Tuesday show? We're going to be like Prince, aren't we? Like we are the CJ and Ted show, formerly known as the Tuesday show.
Yeah, that's right.
Maybe that could be our @ handle. CJ and Ted, formerly the Tuesday show.
Yeah. Okay, am I the arsehole?
Yes, you are.
Well, that was easy.
Next.
Next, interestingly, the poster on this one is called Next Border 8421. I don't know why there's 8,421 of them, but at least. But hey. Anyway, Next Border says, am I the arsehole for taking an hour to myself each night and refusing to shorten it?
I mean, if it takes you an hour to get off, dude, come on.
No. I live with my girlfriend and work from home the majority of the time. I started therapy a few months ago, and one of the suggestions from my therapist was to journal, so I thought I'd give it a go. I've started doing it after work, so I'll spend an hour decompressing in the home office. Some of that time is used for journaling, some of it just to decompress and have some time on my own. My girlfriend has started getting annoyed at this. and said, "It's weird. I'm spending an hour each day away from her." I said, "It's hardly a long time that I'm spending in the office," but she said I shouldn't be doing it. I explained again that she knew why I was doing it and why it was important, but she just repeated that I shouldn't be doing it. She said I should reduce the length of time and reduce the frequency, but I refused. She said I should be compromising. Um, and I pointed out that we still have hours together each night, so it's not like I'm spending all my time on my own. Am I the arsehole for taking an hour to myself each night and not shortening it? Well,
I don't think he's an arsehole. I think, mental health is incredibly important, and if journaling helps you to balance out what's gone on throughout the day, I think you should take that time, and she needs to be understanding of that. Because I'm sure this person would also be just as understanding if she wanted to take an hour for herself to journal or wind down or just do anything but sit in front of the TV next to their boyfriend and do naffle.
Yeah.
Because I'm assuming that's what she's complaining about, that she's just sat there on her own doing nothing.
Yeah.
Like I said, it's an assumption on my part. But anyway, in either case, whatever it is that she wants to do, she needs to allow him that time. It's 1 hour. It's 1 hour out of the day, out of 24.
I agree. He's not the arsehole. In fact, he's found himself in a difficult position, really, because working from home, well, you've also got the problem of, you're working, you weren't out. You were working from, why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that? Because I was working.
Yeah, I was working.
But anyway, aside from that, the benefit of actually going somewhere to work is that on the way back, you can decompress to some degree on your commute.
Well, depending on traffic.
Depending on traffic.
It might make it worse.
You can stop and you can sit in the car and just be. Where nobody's asking you for anything, nobody's hassling you, anything like that, and you've got time to chill. Whereas if you're at home and what's she doing? Because she's presumably there for the entire hour that after he's finished work. So,
one assumes so.
Yeah. But anyway, no, absolutely not the arsehole.
She's the arsehole.
Yeah. Yeah, I think people sometimes need a bit of time.
Especially in this.
I'm not going to say space because it's not even that. Like, that's a bit of a cliche. Is that I need some space? Oh well, away from me.
Yeah, because you do my fucking head in.
Well, yeah, that's the simple answer. But
But no, the thing is, in this day and age, where working from home is a normal for a lot of people. I mean, I find it sometimes. I've said it before. I said earlier, I work from home, which means that actually, for weeks at a time, I don't go anywhere. So I need some proper decompression time, and I do go out for walks. I need fresh air. I need some exercise. But I also just want to get the fuck out of the house.
Yeah.
Because I am enclosed in this one building for, like I say, weeks at a time. I need to go and do anything else. I've tried journaling myself. It's not for me. I struggle. I mean, I don't like writing anyway. And I haven't yet come across a good enough app on my phone or my iPad where I can talk to it and it will transcribe it accurately enough for me. But even then, I find, if I just want to talk about what I've done during the day, I will phone my gay colleague, who I have a lot of fun with, and we just chat shit all the time. She and I have so much fun when we're just chatting bollocks. It's brilliant. To the point now that we've set up a twice weekly call at the end of a day where we just chat shit for an hour. It's incredibly therapeutic and cathartic. But yeah, people need to do something to get away from the norm or to get away from the monotony. And like I said, especially when you work from home, sometimes you just need to get out. You need, and you say you don't use the word space, but you need some space.
Yeah.
You need a place where you can just have some peace and quiet and you can just be alone with your thoughts and process everything that's going on. And especially because you work from home, as soon as you finish work, your girlfriend is there or your partner is right there, and you're like, I haven't had, like, so you're not driving, you're not commuting, so you haven't had the decompression time on your own with some blasting music in the car, ripping your vape or smoking or whatever it is that you do.
Mm-hmm.
You need something.
Yeah.
You absolutely need something.
Yeah. Get a dog.
Yeah. Forces you to go for a walk.
Yeah, you'll go for a walk. She won't be asked.
No.
Okay, take the dog for a walk, and get a bit of time that way. Yeah. So, I mean, they're all of a theme, really. Girlfriend is the arsehole. One text message or call in the morning, same at night is appropriate. If she can't give you one freaking hour to yourself, drop her and move on. That is ridiculous. When my husband and I first started dating, he let me know that he needs some time alone sometimes. I was like, thank God, because I'm an only child and I also need alone time. Turns out I need more than he does, and we're both totally cool with it. One of my favorite things we do is I sleep in on the weekends and cuddle the foster cat.
Nice.
He watches movies that I don't want to watch with our cats out in the living room. Sometimes he'll go to the theatre at like 9 a.m.
The cat?
He'll be back. What?
The cats will go to the theatre?
Very possibly.
Okay.
And he'll be back before I'm even awake. It's awesome. Highly recommended. There we go.
You know what? So I've heard this so many, maybe it's a trope in TV shows or whatever, but they go, you may be in that relationship where you're just under each other's feet, and you just need to get the fuck out and go do something on your own. It's okay to have separate interests. I want to go to a Star Trek convention. My partner may not want to go to a Star Trek. That's fine. You stay at home. I'm going off to meet some Star Trek people. Yeah. Okay, and I want to go have some fun for me. And then when you want to go and have a girls' night or do whatever the hell you want to do, you can just go. You don't even need my permission for that. I've been in those situations where a partner has said, but if you want me to stay and spend time with you, no, fuck off, just go. Don't give a shit.
Yeah.
In my head, I'm thinking that's free time. That's free time that I get because you're going out doing something, but I don't have to ask for it, so I get it for free. I don't have to pay you anything. I don't have to do something in return.
And of course, for a lot of people, including myself, actually having the whole COVID lockdown, all that sort of thing, you kind of get used to the idea of your own space. And then all of a sudden, there's people invading it again.
Yep.
Like, whoa. I kind of like the peace and quiet. Just want to be peace and quiet.
I very much like my alone time. Probably more than I should. Probably more than is healthy for me. But I like being on my own. And just... I
don't even need to be doing anything. I could just be sat on the end of the bed, just sitting,
contemplating life.
Yeah, or not even contemplating life, or just thinking, I wonder what the biggest badger is in the world. That's maybe all I need. Just half an hour of that, or whatever it may be. Or just go to the loo for an hour or something. Whatever. It's just what we like to do.
Did you find that during COVID? Like, I just need some peace and quiet. I need some time to myself. I'm just going to go and take a really long shit. Just because I know that no one's going to bother me when I'm doing that.
Yeah. Make sure I've got everything I need. Got my phone. Got my vape.
Yep.
Yeah. Settle down and just chill for a bit.
Yeah, that's it. Just take the time for you.
The thing is, once you're there, you're having a bit of chill time. Need a piss? We're already there.
Well, yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Just don't take food and drink in there, please. That is a step too far.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's... Yeah, for this person, he's absolutely not the arsehole. She is the arsehole for not even giving him an hour of just nothing. It's like, okay, yeah, you're right. You've been at home. You've been on your own because I've been out at work. But yeah, he's been working too. It's not like he just sits there and does nothing for 8 hours. he's actually got to do stuff, and that's why the housework hasn't been done. At least that's what I tell myself. I haven't done the housework because I've actually been working, when actually what I've been doing is playing Wordle. Oh, mate, I'm really into Wordle. Don't ask me why. I'm so far behind the curve when it comes to trends like that. But yeah, I was just like, I was playing, so on LinkedIn, there were games on there as well, which I quite enjoy because they're nice little brain teasers, just very short, couple of minutes. And there's like 5 or 6, I think it's 5 games. And I'm like, that's literally 10 minutes out of my lunch break just playing these games. And then I was like, I really enjoy these. And I was like, what else can I do? Because you can't go back and do more. And that's it. Once you've done them, you've done them. And I'm like, I know. People did Wordle for a little while. So I found Wordle. And now I've found myself obsessed with Wordle as well. Yeah. And I found a website where you can do as many Wordles as you want in a day. You're not limited to just the one on the New York Times website. You can do as many as you want. And I'm like, yeah, okay. I definitely need a life. I need to do more work.
Yeah, I'd not really got into that. I like sort of Sudoku and stuff and things like that, and then putting blocks on top of each other.
Tetris.
Yeah, similar to that, but not timed.
Okay.
Yeah. And there's another. Well, there's one that I'm doing at the moment. One I'm playing at the moment, which is some fruit drop down, and then if you get 2 fruit the same, they turn into another fruit.
Oh, they get bigger and
one. Yeah. That's great. The only problem with that is there's loads of ads, which is really annoying. But it's not so annoying that it's stopping me from playing. I just get slightly annoyed every time.
Yeah, see that when I download a game on my phone, I don't have many games. I actually don't think I have any games on my phone anymore. I think I've got rid of them all. Because as soon as an advert comes up, it's deleted. I get rid of it because I hate them. I absolutely hate ads. Now, when they're optional, so it's like there was a game I played. Oh God, what was it? I think it was like Kingdom something, and it was like a Candy Crush type thing, and you have to get lines of things, and you can make whatever, and blow shit up and stuff. That was good, because it had optional ads. So if you wanted to, I don't know, get some power-ups or something for free, you'd have to watch ads.
Extra life and things like that. Yeah.
And I never bothered. I was just like, if I run out of lives, I run out of lives. Big whoop. It's a mobile game. I'm not going to cry over it. But when they force ads on you, and it's okay to start with, because they go, oh, we'll give you like 5 rounds or something without an ad. Then we'll pop a short ad in for you, which you can skip. Okay, cool. Then you do another, and then eventually it's like every other game, and then you can't skip them. Yeah. And I'm so, nope, it's gone. Just get rid of it. Yeah. I hate them.
Yeah. I'd much rather actually pay for the app.
Well, so
normally they're not that much anyway.
Well, so here's the thing, right? So I pay for Apple One. So it gets, I think we've discussed this before. So I get extended, so I get like 50 gig of storage. Yeah. I get Apple TV. I get Apple Music, which is really important to me. But I also get Apple Arcade. Now, if you download an app from Apple Arcade, there's no ads at all.
Right.
So you can actually get some of the more popular games on Apple Arcade, and it's completely ad-free. I'm just looking at, there's like PGA Tour Golf. So, there's a company called Mobilityware, who do like a lot of like card games, which I basically had them all on my phone at one point. Solitaire, Spider, Castle, fucking Free Cell, all the classic games we used to play on Windows PCs back in the day. I used to really enjoy those because, again, I'd go for my morning poo and I'd play card games on my phone. But again, they started putting ads in, and it really started to get on my nerves. But now I've found them on Apple Arcade, which means I can have them completely ad-free.
Super.
So now I have something to do when having a poo in the morning again.
There you go. Top tips on the CJ and Ted show.
Yeah, well, that's it. Yeah. Well, the point of that was if ads on games do annoy you, okay, there's not a huge library on Apple Arcade, but if you do subscribe to Apple Arcade in some capacity, whether it's Apple One or you buy a new phone and you get it for free for a couple of months, and just download them from there rather than the regular part of the App Store, and they'll be ad free.
Cool.
There you go.
Yeah. Right. Let me find. This is just silliness.
So should we have one more?
We'll have one more.
Okay, one more, everybody.
Okay. Right. On the face of it, it looks like it's just a bit of a humble brag, but we'll see.
All right, good.
Am I the arsehole for losing weight for my friend's wedding, although I'm already the skinny friend?
Yeah, you are now.
I mean, calling yourself the skinny friend, yes, you're an arsehole.
Exactly.
Yeah. I think that's enough, really. Anyway, I, female, 28, right, lost a fair bit of weight, and now my friend, who's 30, is saying I'm trying to upstage her at her wedding. My best friend Emily got engaged at the end of last year and asked me to be a bridesmaid. I was super happy and, of course, said yes. In the past 3 years, I have put on some weight, about 2 dress sizes. It didn't really bother me until recently, so I decided to use the wedding as an excuse to lose some weight. I just find it easier to do if I have a goal and end date. Fair enough, I suppose. This past weekend, we were bridesmaid dress shopping, and Emily was acting kind of weird towards me, giving me funny looks and talking over me. The 2 other bridesmaids, one I'm friends with, the other I don't know very well, didn't seem to notice, so I brushed it off, thinking she was just stressed. Me and Emily Emily and I live very close to each other. So usually after something like this, we would hang out for the day at one of our houses. At the end of the appointment, I asked her whose house she wanted to go to, and she scoffed and told me she was going home. I asked what was wrong, and this is when she went off on me. I don't remember word for word what she said because I was so confused and shocked. But these are the bits I remember. She basically said it was clear I was trying to lose weight. I wish people could spell properly, because that actually says loose weight. Yeah.
I've got plenty of loose weight.
Yeah. I was trying to lose weight to upstage her for a wedding, that I was already the skinny friend, and now I was just trying to make it all about me, especially as I never cleared my weight loss with her. Wow.
Sorry, I didn't know we needed your permission, love.
No. She said I clearly knew what I was doing was wrong because I was still wearing oversized clothes to disguise my weight loss. I just haven't updated my wardrobe and prefer to be comfortable over wearing tight-fitting stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I don't consider myself skinny, but I'm the smallest out of the 4 of us. I also didn't think about how changing my appearance would affect her vision for her wedding. I've never been a bridesmaid before, so I don't know if it's something I should have considered. So, I don't think I'm the arsehole for losing the weight, unless I am. But am I the arsehole for not telling her I was going to lose the weight? There's an edit. Guys, I know it's lose, L-O-S-E. I'm sorry for my dyslexia. People say that all the time. Oh, sorry, it's dyslexia. I'm sure a lot of people don't have it, but they say they do. I would go and edit all of them, but one, I've been told that there are many. I'm too lazy for that, but you can write this. And 2,
Right?
I know. Yeah, I know. 2, I now think it's hilarious how annoying you all seem to find it. Update. First off, thanks for all the support, as well as the spelling lessons. They've cheered me up a lot. Not sure if anyone wanted an update, but you're getting one anyway. I called my friend as I'm currently away for work, so couldn't meet face to face. Spoiler, it did not go well. I started by telling her it was not my intent to make her feel any kind of way, and tried to explain I've already been on a weight loss journey before she got engaged. I asked her if she really thought that I would be vindictive enough to try and upstage her at a wedding. Apparently, this was the wrong thing to say. She started ranting about how I think I'm better than her, how whenever we go out together, no one ever looks at her, only me. I don't think this is true, as she is pretty and I'm pretty average looking. Here's where it gets bonkers bananas. Wow.
Oh, wow, bonkers bananas.
Bonkers bananas. She told me that her ex-boyfriend, who recently got married, is going to be at the wedding. And for a while, he was thinking of leaving his, at the time, fiance to ask me out. But my friend convinced him not to. I had no idea of any of this and had gone on, and would have been appalled because, one, that's just weird, and two, he's my best friend's ex, and I'm now pretty sure she's still in love with him. Oh, dear. I've been uninvited from the wedding.
No.
Unless I put the weight back on.
Oh, fuck off.
Then I can come, but not as a bridesmaid. Safe to say, I now have a new motivation to keep the weight off and shall not be attending any weddings in the near future. She temper and has flipped out on me over random stuff before, but nothing ever this insane. I guess I'm just going to have to get better at identifying red flags. I'll tell you what's a red flag. It's women being friends with each other, because it's always this kind of shit all the time.
I was just about to say, just get better friends.
It's like the cutaway thing on Family Guy, where there's two women saying, "Oh, you know, it's very brave you wearing that," or whatever they were saying, some sort of bitchy comments to each other, and then it pans over to two guys sat there, and it just goes, "Men, we know how to be friends."
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so bitch. I mean, how ridiculous.
I mean, that is so ridiculous. It's like, you can't come to my wedding unless you put weight back on, but even then you're not coming as a bridesmaid. She's done, like, I think she's done the exact right thing and just been like, okay, see ya. Yeah. Have a good wedding. Yeah. Catch you never.
I've completely changed my opinion on that one from the start to the end. No, she is her friend is a dick. It's unbelievable.
I can't get my head around petty jealousy like that. It's just like, are you serious right now? Grow the fuck up.
Yeah. Also, she's not. I mean, she's not the skinny friend. Like, why? Everybody's so bloody fat at the moment, right? If this was the like 1970s or 1960s, there wouldn't be this conversation.
Nope.
Because there'd all be, you know, bloody whatever, size 8, size 10 or whatever. Nobody'd be looking over at somebody else going, "Oh, they lost weight, put on weight," or any of that nonsense.
Okay, does the bride think that she is the duff, the designated ugly fat friend? Is that what we're talking about here? Yeah, I watched a movie once called The Duff, and I was like, what the hell's that about? And it was about someone who was the designated ugly fat friend.
Right.
Who basically ends up winning, you know, the hot guy and all that shit. You know, proper teen rom-com, POS, you know. But I was just like, I don't know. I wish I understood why people feel the way they feel. When it comes to things like that. It's like, why does anyone ever think that someone is trying to upstage them at their own wedding? Why would that thought even enter your mind? At the end of the day, it's your day. The eyes are on you no matter what. Yeah. And even if they're not, who cares? If it was me, I wouldn't care. Yeah. I don't like being the center of attention. You know, I've you know, there was a time where I was very comfortable being in that position, you know, being at the front of a room full of people I don't know and talking to them. But nowadays, I'd rather not do that. I know it's not the same thing when it comes to a wedding, but it's like, yeah, there are certain things in life I just don't want to do anymore. And being the center of attention is one of them. I just want to live a quiet life and just kind of fade into the background and not really be noticed. I'm good with that. Not good when it comes to careers, but that's a whole other story. But yeah, that is insane. This woman has hit the nail on the head. That is just clearly insane. She absolutely has done the right thing and just gone, all right, bye then. I won't be at your wedding, and I probably won't go to anyone else's because of that. Thank you for that. Yeah. Thank you for destroying my own self-confidence.
Yeah. Well, the thing is, it's not though, is it? I mean, she's going to be the one that's got self-confidence because she's not bloody fat. It's Bridezilla.
Yeah.
If she thought this was such a major issue, why don't she just lay off the pies for a bit? It's not that difficult, is it, really? And you know what? You're absolutely right in what you're saying in terms of, I mean, when it comes to weddings, and I have a little bit of experience in this field.
More than me.
When it comes to your own wedding, you do not care. As long as you're there, as long as the bride is there, then everything else is just it's kind of gonna happen anyway.
Yes.
Like there's lots of messing about and planning things in the lead up. But the most important thing is that those two people are there. And once you're there, it's plain sailing, right? People not turning up, or people wearing the wrong thing, or one of the bridesmaids has lost her shoes, or she's wearing something different to what she was told. Nobody really cares. They're never going to care again in the future.
Skinny friend here could have gone really vindictive and been like, "All right, fine, I'll stop losing weight just so I can come to your wedding, because I like to think we are friends." But then she could absolutely have turned up wearing white.
Yeah,
wear a white dress.
Yeah.
Be like, you thought I was trying to upstage you before? Now look at me. Who's the dick now?
Yeah.
Oh wait, it's me because I'm wearing white.
That's the usual thing when people say, "Oh, being upstaged at weddings," is people turning up with wearing white,
or just wearing a much fancier dress. I mean, it doesn't get much fancier than a wedding dress, but turning up wearing something way over the top for a guest at a wedding, and that's upstaging.
Yeah, but being the wrong body size is just ridiculous, and also, I mean, the thing is, some of the bridesmaids' dresses that you see are just hideous. It's as though what they want to do is they want to get their friends and make sure that they look as awful as possible compared to them. Like, what?
Well, again,
they're not. That's not friendship.
No, I was going to say again, is that what friends do? Because I feel like it's not. I feel like, like if I was to have a wedding, if I was to get married, and I invited people along, I almost expect that everyone's going to look better than me. But that's because I am fat, and I know I'm fat, and I may not be comfortable with it, but it's unlikely to change unless I spend a incredibly large sum of money trying to get thin. By hiring a dietitian and spending 8 hours a day in the gym. Going on the Mark Wahlberg diet and exercise program of getting up at 2:00 in the morning, and no, it's just not going to happen for me. I expect the people, but I want people to look their best. It's my wedding day. Turn out in your best bib and tuck, please.
Yeah.
Because I don't want you turning up looking like trash.
Yeah. I mean, we talked. I mean, last week, I think I, sort of mentioned. It's quite handy when there's somebody fatter than you. You can stand next to them in photographs. That
always
is
me.
true.
Always me.
That is true. However, this is just ridiculous. And the bride is the arsehole.
Yeah.
And it also sounds like she's still in love with her ex.
Yeah, there's that bit too. Yeah.
Yeah. Who probably got rid of her because she's fat or something. I don't know.
I mean, some people are shallow like that, yeah.
Why not? Just make shit up.
Well, I think there's definitely a thing. I mean, I was about to say something then. Maybe Bridezilla was looking for a reason to tank the wedding and to cancel it and just to be like, no, I've had enough of this shit. Everyone's going to look better than me. I don't want to go through with it. Just to piss off the guy who then goes, well, why are we even here then?
Yeah.
Okay, see ya. Yeah. That's it. End of discussion.
Who knows? But yeah, the bottom line for me is why can't they just get on? Why do they have to be dicks to each other all the time?
So can't we all just get along?
Yeah.
Anyway, on that.
Anyway, there we go. On that note, I think people should get on, and
I can subscribe.
And so all of you out there, all three of you, thanks for joining us on yet another episode of the CJ and Ted Show.
So no, the inaugural CJ and Ted Show.
Well, yeah.
And we've got new handles as well.
I beg your pardon?
For the doors,
Yes, yes, we've got new handles. So if you want to check out our social media, you can do. And it's quite simple. It's at CJ and Ted.
Ampersand.
No, it's not.
Not ampersand.
No.
A-N-D.
Yeah, A-N-D.
Yeah.
CJ and Ted. At CJ and Ted. You can also DM us. You can DM me at Ted James Media. And you can also still email the show. The email is the same. It is.
I said we shouldn't say it because it's the wrong email. It's the wrong thing now.
Yeah, but if somebody wants to email, I mean, it's still CJ and Ted. But
CJ and Ted at the TuesdayShow.co.uk. We're going to change it eventually.
Yeah.
When we
feel
buy
free
it.
to email. I recently cleared the email box because it was packed with stuff.
I say it was packed with one email.
Yeah. Now, actually, come to think of it, because we used to play a lot of music, it's packed with emails with large attachments, and it isn't now.
I may or may not have taken to responding to some of those emails because they come to me directly as well, and I started responding to them saying we don't do this anymore, or I don't do this anymore. Probably take me off your mailing list, please.
Yeah.
Being polite about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because none of them have an unsubscribe button, and I'm they don't know.
Yeah.
It's not like when I'm at work and someone cold emails me and I email them back with the word unsubscribe.
Mm-hmm.
That's how much of a dick I am at work. I'm like, just literally go, Alt and R for reply, and then just type unsubscribe, Alt S for send, done. It's gone.
Wow.
And then I block them.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Anyway, CJ and Ted at the TuesdayShow.co.uk.
Text messages as well. I'm going to try that. If somebody texts and unsubscribe. Send.
I can think of one person I'd do that to.
Or just stop, because very often in these automated ones they say to not receive any more messages, just write stop. So you just respond to somebody with stop.
Yeah. I'm gonna say things I don't do that. 'Cause, I just literally go and I just block them. I'm just like I don't even want to, because I don't want to tell you that this number is active. Because that's the thing. So it's like cold calls. So we will wrap up the show in a minute, I promise. But like cold calls, I get a lot of cold calls throughout the day.
Yeah.
And I just ignore them. If someone calls me from a number that I don't recognise, like it's not saved in my contacts, I never answer it.
Yeah.
And then if they don't leave me a voicemail, they get blocked immediately. Because I'm not going to answer it, because if it is a robocall, I don't want them to know that the number is active and that I would answer it, because then all that happens is you can then get more, because they then spread it out and sell it to go, oh, this number's alive, go ahead and call it. But if they leave me a voicemail, I'll listen to the voicemail and then decide whether to block them or not. Because most of the time it's cold calls, and I'm really not interested in cold calls. Sales calls. I don't give a shit.
I usually keep my phone on silent, so unless I see it, I'm probably not going to answer it.
Well, it's on silent, but it sits on a stand right underneath my main monitor, so I can always see if someone, because of where what I do, I need to be able to see if people are calling me, in case there's an incident.
If I'm sat on the loo for an hour playing a game, then it'll flash up right in front of me.
Yeah,
and then the phone will.
And the phone will start ringing, yeah. Yeah, I ignore cold calls. So what the point I was going to make was, with the text message ones, where it goes, text stop to opt out, I never do, I just block the number. Because again, if it's a robo, like an AI or something where someone's got your number and they're going to sell it to someone else so they can make money, if you reply stop, then they know that there is someone on the end of that number. So I just block them. And that's my advice for anyone out there. If you get cold calls, just ignore them. If they leave you a message, by all means, respond. If they don't, just block them, because it's probably a robocall.
If I don't know the number, I never answer anyway.
No.
I'll just I'll I'll just take the number and then Google it.
Yeah, good until it's a mobile number, then you can't try it, or it doesn't have a. And that's the other thing. You'll put in numbers like a landline number. Sometimes it'll tell you who it is. Most of the time, it doesn't. It just goes, this number comes from Bradford, UK, and is a telephone line provided by Sky Internet. And you're like, that doesn't help me. I need to know who they are. But again, if it's a publicly listed number,
I'm not interested.
If it's what? Sorry.
If it's from Bradford, I'm not interested. So I'm not going to phone them back.
No. But if I Google them and I can find a legitimate business listing for them, and I can figure out who they are, I might call them back depending on what it is. But again, most of the time it's cold sales, and I'm not interested.
I'm more likely to answer a call if it's if it just comes up and says unknown.
No, I never answer.
Yeah, because I'm like, well, it might be important, and I don't know who it is, and I can't even call them back or trace the call or anything. But like I say, I'm generally not looking at the phone.
The thing I find with, like, because people go, oh, what if it's your bank? They'll write to me.
Yeah.
The bank will send me a letter if they need to get a hold of me. Because, again, I don't even care if I know it's them calling me. I'm still not going to answer. Because they'll be like, oh, can you give us your date of birth and your inside leg mission? I'm like, no, you call me.
Yeah.
You could be... I just argue with them.
Get hold of me, like you say, they'll write to me.
Yeah.
And then I will have an envelope that I never open from the bank. That's how it works.
I always open the mail. I always open my post.
I very rarely. If I think, oh, I know what that is, I'll just put it to one side.
Yeah.
That's how chaotic my life is.
Yeah, right. You just got a stack of posts that you've never opened. But no, it's like, even if I know it's the bank that's calling me, I probably won't answer it. Because if they, not that they ever do, but if it's that important, they're going to write to me. And more often than not, my bank's credit card company, utilities, they never call me. They always write to me. Mainly because I say, send it to me through the post. Because I feel that is more secure than, it feels like a lot of effort for a cyber criminal to go to make a letterhead and pay money to, blanket send out, mail in the post. To first of all know who I'm with, who my providers are, to then fake a letter to send it to me. Than it is for them just to, have some bot calling me on the phone that I'm never going to answer. So, if it's important, someone's going to write to me, and then I'll respond. But apart from that, if you call me and I don't have your number in my phone, you're gonna get ghosted. Sorry.
I just remembered, just in case anybody's watching, and they really wanted to know more, just very quickly, tell us about your new chair.
Oh, it's a chair.
Because it's very similar to the one you had.
It's more or less exactly the same.
Right.
So you're right. It's very similar. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, the last one was okay. So this is a Secret Lab Titan Evo NanoGen white leather gaming chair, extra large, because I'm an extra large kind of guy. It is basically the same as the last chair that I had, except that one's made of fabric rather than leather. That one was also, they call it frost blue. So it's a very light blue color. This is white leather. The pillow on the other one is black with blue writing. This is grey with white writing. It's basically exactly the same. But I wanted a new chair because I really cannot find an office chair that works for me at home. Right. So I have invested in a brand new gaming chair, and then my old gaming chair is now in my office.
I see. Right.
That was the motivation behind it. But I thought, if I'm going to get a new chair, I'm going to get it for the gaming room, and I'm going to get the one I really want, which is this white leather one, which I saw on Linus Tech Tips, which is another YouTube channel. They basically have it on their WAN show, which is on a Friday night, probably right after this show. Go check it out on YouTube. They talk all things tech. And yeah, they use these chairs. And when I saw them, I basically went, I want one of those. So I went immediately to the Secret Labs website, and they said it was coming soon. And I messaged them and said, when is soon? And they went, soon, TM. I was like, great, okay, so no idea then. And then as soon as I saw it released, I just bought it.
Yeah.
Just went ahead and bought it. Now, I'm going to talk about this for a minute, because it has been an absolute fucking nightmare dealing with Secret Lab. So they sent the chair, right? So I ordered the chair. I ordered the premium leather cleaner that they have.
Ooh.
And I ordered their premium leather wipes that they have. And I thought, great, I'll order that. And I ordered a Secret Labs lanyard because it looked cool. And, I'm beyond the point of having fancy lanyards for shit, but I was like, this one looks cool, I'm going to buy it.
Yep.
It was like 20 quid, whatever. The chair and the spray turned up first, to which I then reached out to Secret Lab and went, well, where's the rest? You know, the package the cleaner turned up in looks damaged, so have the other bits fallen out. Is that what we're dealing with here? It took them, well, I've had this for 3 weeks now, just over. And it took them easily a week to just get to the point where they're like, yeah, your other stuff's probably lost in transit. We'll send you some more. And I'm like, fucking great. Brilliant. Oh, we just need you to fill out this declaration that if you do receive double, you'll send some of them back. I'm like, sure, no problem. Send it over. It took them another week to send that to me. And this is me chasing them every day, going, I've paid a premium for this shit. Like I said, the chair itself, I'm glad you're sitting down. Guess how much the chair is, this chair. No, you got to guess. That's why I say guess.
God, I don't know, 150 quid.
I wish. This chair on its own is £730.
Fuck off.
730 quid.
Wow.
The spray cleaner, 25 quid. A pack of leather wipes, and I think there's 20 in here. That's 25 quid. But they're all specially designed, specifically with this chair in mind. I've then gone ahead and looked at the ingredients and gone, yeah, baby wipes will do the same thing. Anyway, so I'm complaining to Secret Lab, and I'm going, you know, I've spent nearly £800 on all this stuff, and your service, you can't even give me reasonable responses. I spent nearly £800 on your products, and you've used the cheapest, shittest delivery service in the country. Company called XDP. I don't know if you've ever heard of them. I never heard of them until I ordered one of these chairs. Well, the thing is, because the last one I had turned up perfect, no problems at all. This one has been an absolute nightmare. Yeah. They go, oh, we're contacting the courier. We're contacting the courier. I'm like, give me their contact details. I'll call them myself, and I will go to the depot and pick my shit up. I don't care what it takes. I just want what I've paid for. And they go, no, we can't do that. We can't do that. And then, and literally today, so the lanyard arrived yesterday. So we're talking 3 weeks later, the lanyard arrived. These arrived today, the leather wipes. So I emailed them and I went, everything's arrived. You don't need to send replacements. Thanks very much. And I haven't heard back. And they've just, I think they're going to ghost me now. But yeah, just be aware, anybody that's watching, if you want to order a Secret Labs chair, be aware, whilst you pay a premium for the products, and they are very good, it's the most comfortable chair I've ever sat on, these chairs. Right. They are so good. When you come over, Ted, you'll have to try it and judge for yourself.
Goodness knows what it's like to sit in a £730 chair.
It
must be fantastic.
It's like my butt crack is on a cloud.
Wow.
No, I'm kidding. It's not like that at all. It's any chair. It gets uncomfortable eventually, but this is the one I can tolerate for the longest.
Yeah.
Mainly because it cost me 730 quid. You okay over there?
Yeah, I'm fine. Wow.
Yeah, anyone that's thinking of buying a chair, I thoroughly recommend these as a really comfortable, long, like a heavy duty.
Oh yeah.
What's the word I'm looking for when you use something for a long time? Or you do something for a long time. High endurance for a high endurance. If you need to use it for. Well, I've used my other one for 8, 9, 10 hours a day while I'm working, and it's perfectly fine. Much better than any office chair I've ever bought or used. They are so good. But my God, if something goes wrong, just prepare yourself for an absolute headache dealing with their customer service. Their customer service is so bad, and you think the amount of money you pay for this shit, you'd get much better service out of them. And here's the kicker, right? They chose the cheapest, shittest courier service in the country, that, by all reckonings. But I still had to pay for delivery. 30 quid. I had to pay them £30 for delivery. And you'd think, for something that I've paid nearly £800 for, this plus all the accoutrements, you'd think they'd absorb that cost of just sending it through DHL. Or fucking Every. Or Hermes as they used to be known. I know Hermes still exists outside the UK. But even
they Every is now.
Yeah, or Hermes. Hermes is now called Every.
Because I'd never heard of it, and then they deliver my contact lenses.
Yeah, but actually, because they used to be really bad. Hermes were fucking terrible. But when they kind of changed to Every, they went through this whole rebrand and relaunch and really made some real significant improvements to their services. And actually, I really like using them for, like, if I sell something on eBay or whatever, I'll send it through Every. I'm more than happy to do that. They're actually really good and reliable now. But I'm like, but then they're really inexpensive. So I'm like, why can't you just use Every? Why are you using this company that no one's ever heard of? That when you Google them, you cannot find a single location of one of their depots. Because I was Googling them for days, trying to find out where, because I found all the tracking information. It said it's at depot number 401 or whatever it was. And I was like, great, I'll Google that. Where is it? Nope, nothing. No references to their delivery depots at all. And I'm assuming that's on purpose because they know everyone will just go there and be like, where the hell's my stuff?
Yeah.
So yeah, that's my only criticism with Secret Lab. My two criticisms of Secret Lab: one, they use the cheapest, shittest delivery possible, and two, their customer service is shocking, considering what you pay for the items. But the items are really good quality. Like I say, my other chair, I've had it for 3-4 years now. Coming up to 4 years. It is great, and it's still going strong. There's nothing wrong with it, which is why I wanted to put it in the office and get a new one for here.
Yeah.
So yeah, really good quality stuff. But anyway, that was 20 minutes.
Well, there we go. But that was an interesting story about your chair.
Yeah. Yes, white leather. And everyone, when I told people, they were like, why white leather? That's dangerous. I was like, because it's leather.
Yeah.
And I can clean it easily. Literally, I go over it once a week, like I say, with baby wipes. And I'll use these leather wipes periodically, and I'll use the spray cleaner once a month. But yeah, you just give it a wipe over when you're finished, and job's done. Get the cum stains off it.
Really bad phrasing, that.
Well, you got to get the cum stains off. Come on.
Wow. Do you know what? We could have finished the show, and you'd never have said that.
We could have, but I did.
We could have. That could have got away with that. Never happened. Happening, but no.
No one's watching. It's fine.
That's very true.
It's the end of the show. YouTube doesn't care what I say anymore.
Yeah. You think?
Go to adulthub.com. Anyway, don't go there. I don't even know if that's a real site.
This is why I say it again. We need an after show.
Yeah.
Which is behind a paywall.
Yeah.
Goodness knows how we work that one out, but I'm sure we could do it.
Well, I went on to adulthub.com and it's sent me to a different site. So I'm going to come off that now.
Right.
I wasn't sharing my screen. That's good.
Okay.
Moving on. End the show. Let's go.
Moving swiftly on. We're ending the show. So all of that stuff that I said was absolutely valid. Is at CJ and Ted. The email address is the same. Send us an email. Get in touch. Do whatever you like. We'll see you on Friday. Next Friday. Oh, excuse me.
Excuse you.
We'll see you next Friday. Until then, goodbye.
I think we're going to go out. I don't know. I can't hear anything. That's troubling.
Dun, 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 dun.
Oh, I know why it's not working. Hang on. Again.
Right.
Because I moved all the files. So now Streamlabs is going, what are you doing? And I'm like, yeah, sorry, my bad. Stream end. There we go. Please don't tell me I have to do the thing again.
Oh, don't say he needs to do the thing again.
And we're good. We're good.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, no, we're not good.
No, it's not changed.
No, and look where it's changed to. I'm so glad no one's watching this. Anyway, we're gone now. Bye.